I thought I'd give you a little tour of my computer area where I get online. This is my computer and my monitor and my webcam. Right now I'm not using my webcam. I'm using the RCA Small Wonder EZ201 camera, which so far I really like. I've only had it for a couple of days. Above my monitor is a little Native American thing. It's a loom. It's a mini loom with tools attached to it that I got at an auction. I really like it. And over here is, well, first here is my little drawer unit that I put junk in so there's not junk sitting everywhere. Over here is used to be my sewing table, but now it's storage. Wait a minute, my kitty is being bad right now. Kitty, I hear what you're doing. You're licking that bag. Now quit it. When she licks plastic bags, then she throws up. So quit that. It's my table, my scanner, my water. I'm always drinking water. Kitty, you better quit it. Get out of there. Go on, go. Above my table is my one of my Terry Redlin pictures. It's got a reflection in it right now, so it's kind of hard for you to see what it is. It's called Amber Waves of Grain. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. It's got a reflection of the window on the other wall. I don't think you can see it very well at all, but I like that picture. This is the door that leads to outside from down here, and I'll open that up. But first of all, I have to disconnect the security system, otherwise we'll get a big alarm. Did you hear that beep? That means it's off. Okay, so I'll open the door. So you can see what's outside. And there's a screen on the store right now. And in the winter, this is south facing. In the winter, we put a storm window in here, and the sun just pours in here and really warms things up. Right now our yard's not looking very good because we are not in extreme drought, we're in exceptional drought. And so all the yards are kind of brown right now. But this is the view out here, and there's two little hooks, well, not little, but hooks that hold bird feeders, and in the winter I can watch the birds from where I sit at my computer. So we're gonna shut this door because it's hot out already. It's gonna be in the high 90s today. So I will shut this door and lock it. And then next to that is where I store my water, so I can have my water every day, and some little TV trays. This is my bookshelf. That's pretty high. It was cram-packed full of books, and I had read all those books, and they just sat there for years, and I thought, well, how about let's just donate those. So we boxed them up and we gave them to Purple Heart, which is a veterans charity kind of thing. And I put some of my fabric on there to store. Okay, and over here, right next to that, this is the landing for the ramp where I go up into the rest of the house. But from right here, we have a basket of magazines and catalogs, and a vase I've had for, oh goodness, 30 years. The peacock feathers aren't for decoration, therefore those are cat toys. The cat likes to play with the peacock feathers. And then you turn around here, right next to my computer area is a fireplace. This is a birdhouse that I bought for John when he was in the hospital having an angioplasty, and it says garage auto repair because he used to run a garage way back in years before I knew him. And on top of there is a receiver for the remote control that controls the gas logs in the fireplace. And then above on the mantle is a clock and a picture of my sweetie grandson TJ. That's kind of an old picture, but I still like it. This is an Andrew Wyeth print. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a dog on a bed, and I love dogs. And I really liked that picture. So I bought it. An oil lamp. And on the hearth down here is my Jamaica man. When I went to Jamaica, you know, they have lots of wood carvers that sit on the beach or sit in town and carve wood. And some of them carve really nasty carvings, meaning sexual. But I like this one because it's like a banana farmer. And the guy who did this was sitting on the beach under a thatched enclosure, and his name was Michael Gibson. And it's been years since, I don't know why I still remember his name, but I do. And I've always just really liked that carving. Next to that is a Bose speaker and a cabinet that stores our CDs and DVDs and CD-ROMs and stationery and paper and floppy disks, all kinds of stuff. And on top of that is our TV. Over this way is John's chair. That's his recliner that he likes to get in when he comes home from work and he's really tired. These are some flowers from our yard, gladiolas, that are in bloom right now. This is a book I'm reading. It's upside down, but it's called On Call in Hell, a doctor's Iraq war story. So we've just started that. I'm reading it to John. And speaking of John, this is his computer area. He has a drawer unit and a cabinet on top. There's our Bose receiver. There's a tub chair. These are a couple of really bookshelves, but I had so much junk in there and it looked really crappy, so I made these curtains. Right now the curtains aren't very straight, but anyway, they match the curtains on my table way over there, and they match the bolsters that I made for the top of the windows. This is John's fax copier printer that he picked up at a yard sale for 30 bucks. It's an HP and it works. It's a reproduction of an old-timey record player. That kitty cat picture is a watercolor. It's printed, but it was done by a lady who was helping me learn how to use Corel Paint Shop Pro 7, and she sent that to me because she had done it in Corel Paint Shop Pro, and I thought it was really pretty, so I kept it. This is the door that I go outside because there's no step, and that leads to the driveway. Over here is just a plant and a picture of a Native American little girl I've had for years and years. Here's the little kitty's stool that she gets up on and looks out the window. My sewing machine cabinet I've had for, oh goodness, like 30 years. But this sewing machine, John spotted it as we were driving into Huntsville. It was laying by the side of the road. And so we just stopped and picked it up. It's an old-time sewing machine. The date on it is, where is that date? I forget. I don't see it. I thought I had a date on it. But anyway, this is just a little tissue box cover, but I thought it was kind of cute. We got in Lynchburg, Tennessee. That was very clever the way they did it. I need to put a different Kleenex in there because it looks like the smoke coming out is kind of yellow. And above here is another Terry Redland print called Family Traditions. It's a winter scene. Kind of dark. And then there's the shredder. And this is the ramp that I use to go up to the rest of the house, because this room is actually a converted garage. It was converted before we moved in, and it was very cold in here, so we discovered the room was not insulated, and that fireplace was a wood-burning fireplace, and so we put gas logs in there. And John built this storage unit here and finished it, and I made a curtain for it for the front and put upholstery tacks. Whoops, I didn't get enough momentum. Oh, up here is John's old-time antique telephone that he really likes. And this is a picture of John when he was a teenager. I'll have to get a closer up view of that. He's on top of his, I think that's a Ford, doing some work, painting it or whatever. But I thought that was kind of a cool picture. I think his brother sent that to him, and I scanned it and put it in frame for him. There's just some little things. We got this in Gatlinburg, Tennessee at Ale Wine Pottery. They have some beautiful things there. And I put a candle in there. And it looks really nice late at night. This is a card that I keep here that has it's a print of the picture of the church that we go to. The church is bigger now, so I guess this is the way the church looked years ago before it had the parish hall added. We got this or John did, this kind of little wall hanging thing when we were in Gatlinburg or North Carolina, I can't remember. It says, "Starlight, star bright. I wish I'd see a moose tonight." Because John's from New Hampshire, and he used to see moose, and that reminds him of his home, which he misses very much. Just some little doodads. This is a framed thing that John made with an Indiana license plate and a New Hampshire license plate, because I'm from Indiana and he's from New Hampshire. And this is just a magnet. It has some kind of a poem or something about the old man in the mountain. And then this is a little toy model car of a 72 Cutlass Indianapolis pace car, which I used to have. And then there's kind of a postcard with the same picture of the same car. So John framed all that. Kind of neat. This is a weaving that I found years ago. It's kind of Native American, but it's mostly South American. But I like it. And this whole box here, big box, holds the water heater and the circuit breaker box. Not a good place for both to be, but that's where it was. This is a framed artwork that I got John for our anniversary. If I had my right glasses on, it says, "This I will remember when the rest of my life is through. The finest thing I've ever done is simply loving you." And it was done by R. Sexton. I got it online, and I really like it. And it speaks of how I feel about my husband. Now, we're up the ramp, and we're going to the rest of the house. This is the laundry room, typical laundry room, kind of junky looking. Washer and dryer. Over here is a bar that John hung for me so I can hang up clothes when they come out of the dryer. And now we're going into the kitchen. To our left is the door to go out to the deck. There's a little storage bin that I really put potatoes and sacks from grocery stores. Some pictures of barns. And I guess I'll look through the window and let you see. Maybe you can see the deck. John got ordered that bench made by Amish people. And then that's a swivel rocker. And they both have heart-shaped backs, which we really liked. And John redid the deck, the floor, and the sides, the railings. So back up here, and this is the freezer and refrigerator. It's not very appealing looking, but that's the way that goes. We don't have a garage. And let's see, the cabinets. It's a pretty good size kitchen. Microwave, cabinet, sink. You know, typical kitchen stuff. I like my smooth top stove. There's a pantry. We have a little battery operated TV for when the power goes out, when we have a storm. Some more cabinets and a counter. And then my kitchen table and chairs. And I got a set of china, so I set the table so it looked nice. This is my tea cart with some of my crystal. It's most of my crystal. And a friend of mine made these eggs out of sugar. She made all parts of it, and I think they're beautiful. So I put them in a crystal bowl on my tea cart. And inside, I hate to pick it up because I don't want anything to break off of it, but maybe you can see inside are little chickies. Can you see the chickies and the eggs? Isn't that cute? And in the other one, are little bunny rabbits. Bunny rabbits and Easter eggs and a flower. Isn't that something? And they're all made out of sugar, frosting. She's an artist, and I think it's gorgeous. I'll put those back in there and not let them break. And there's stools for the counter. And now this leads into the living room. And we'll start over here. This is a wood burning fireplace. And we put up one of those fire logs in there that burns pretty colors. Maybe once or twice a year. Not very often. These are pictures of people that I love. Grandchildren, John, my mother and Cass, John's kids, and some flowers. Then up on the mantle, these two little, they're made out of paper mache. Got those in Mexico. They were $3 a piece. And I think they're kind of cool. She's carrying a pottery plate, and he's carrying a basket full of beans and rice. This is another print that I got years ago of a little girl playing with her puppies. Some books and a big box that holds fireplace matches. Now this is a end table that I got that has glass top, and I thought it would be good that I could store my crystal Swarovski that John got for me, but as you can see right now, the light just reflects right in that glass, so maybe that wasn't such a good idea. But I love those little crystal Swarovski animals. There's a doggy and a swan and a bear and a fish and butterfly. There's a sewing machine and some puffins. Puffins are my favorite bird in the whole wide world. And I've never seen any real puffins, but I love puffins because they remind me of myself. They're very awkward when they walk. They have a clown face, and I'm kind of funny. And what was the other thing? Well, they can swim and they can fly, and those are two things that I think would be fun to do. I can swim, but I can't fly. And here is a flute and a flute case because I play a little bit of flute. And a kitty cat and a piano because I play a little bit of piano. A 4-leaf clover, a shamrock, which is a reminder of our anniversary because we were married on St. Patrick's Day. And a snowman. It looks like some of the stuff has fallen over. I think maybe when somebody was running the sweeper, they hit the table. I really would like to have a better place for those little crystal things because I don't get to see them very much. And I would like to see them more. This is my Clavinova. And this is artwork that I saw at the mall one day, and I just stared at it and stared at it. I just love it. Because to me it represents protection of children, and teaching was my devotion. And the angel is black, and I think that is so cool. And the little children are black. And they're just beautiful. They're beautiful. And he has this look on his face that is just so heavenly. Like he's praying to God to let him help protect the children. And that's why I love it. This is our bay window with the lace embroidered curtains. And a drum table, I guess they call it, but it's flat on the back. This is the entryway, the front door. As you can see, I don't have anything on the walls in here, and that's because I can't decide what I want on there. When I see something, I think to myself, I don't know if that would be right. I'm not a very good decorator. It's a grandfather clock. We got it at an auction. Maybe it'll chime while I'm doing this video, because it's just almost 10:30. I really like that grandfather clock. Love seat and a trunk. I like this carved trunk. Some books and candles. It's our winter's only desk, which I should have closed because it looks really messy with it open, but it certainly does hold a lot of stuff. And I'll tell you what, except for those little drawers at the top, this thing is cram-packed full. Paper, papers, papers, papers. And above that, this is Phillips, I forget his first name. It's a print on canvas, I think that's what it's called, of a scene in New England. And I got that for John for his birthday one year because it reminds him of his home. And when you turn the lights on, I have, see right there, I have a little floodlight, and right there, and when you turn those on, it makes the lights in the picture in the little houses and the church and the other buildings look like the lights have been turned on. It's really cool. Okay, that's a lamp. I think I'll stop here because I'm already too far into this, and I'll record something later for the rest of the house.